LeBron Raymond James Sr. surpassed Karl Malone on the all-time scoring list. Okay. Shout out to Brum for that accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? Another feather in his cap, another jewel in his crown. You understand? Another reason why I consider him um at worst the third best player of all time. But really I want to say second best. Okay. Me being a Kobe fan is why, so I'll be hesitant. But I'm gonna take the fandom out. That's why I have him at second greatest. But that's not where Nick Wright has him. If y'all don't know who Nick Wright is, which I'm sure y'all do know, but he is one of LeBron James' most vocal supporters in mainstream sports media. I think him and Shannon Sharp probably go tit for tat with that. Shannon Sharp is more Shannon Sharp is louder. Shannon Sharp is more entertaining with his and pulling out the goat mask and doing all that kind of shit. Nick Wright is more analytical with his. Like Nick Wright, for real, believe this shit. With Shannon Sharp, I think Shannon Sharp just doing that for that show to be 100. You got the number one LeBron hater and Skip Bayless. And so you got to have somebody who really believe in Bron to go up against him. Skip and Stephen, they both saying Mike was the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? That was one of the few things that they didn't have as many fireworks about. But with Skip versus Shannon with this shit, it's been lights out. It's some of their best ratings. But Nick Wright, he really thinks he has put together some damn arguments for LeBron. But see, when you really dig deep into all the other shit Nick Wright says about basketball, you see that he's full of shit. You see that his arguments are flawed. You see that his logic is it has fallacies in it. You know what I'm talking about? He's not being consistent. For instance, Brum just passed Karl Malone on the all-time scoring list. However, Nick Wright does not have Karl Malone over Tim Duncan, even though Tim Duncan does not have as many points as Karl Malone. Even though when you talk about he loves to talk about how LeBron is bigger, stronger, faster than Mike, which he's bigger and stronger, but I don't know if he's faster. They say Mike ran a 4.3. But when we talk about Karl Malone and Tim Duncan, Karl Malone was a big motherfucker. He wasn't as tall as Tim Duncan, but for the 90s, it looked like goddamn Karl Malone was chiseled out of granite or some shit. You feel me? Like a fucking bodybuilder out there. Big, strong motherfucker. Run the flow. Him and John Stockton, get up and down the floor. But Nick Wright ain't got Karl Malone over no damn Tim Duncan. Why not? Because Tim Duncan got the championships, and Tim Duncan got the better resume defensively. Don't get me wrong, Karl Malone was a 4-time all-defensive team guy himself. Tim Duncan like 15 times. Even in his fall-off years, offensively, I should say, Tim Duncan was still anchoring the Spurs defense. That's why Nick Wright got him over Karl Malone. But see how his argument? How you gonna say that the championships and the defense and the leadership is the reason why Tim Duncan is over Karl Malone, but that don't hold true for Michael Jordan. But I'll take y'all a step further. He really killed his GOAT argument for LeBron. when he said this shit about Kobe and Tim Duncan. See, look what he said now. This is why he says Tim Duncan is better than Kobe Bean Bryant. Okay. And I saw him on another video, even after Kobe passed, he's still on the same shit that Kobe is beneath Tim Duncan on the list. Okay. He said, so you got two guys, Kobe and Duncan. Same era, both same team for their entire careers. Cool. Same number of rings, but Duncan's got more MVPs. Mike got more MVPs than LeBron. He's got more finals MVPs. LeBron got 4 finals MVPs. Michael Jordan got 6 finals MVPs. He was the best player on a champion 4 times. Kobe's the best player on a champion twice. Mike was the best player on the championship team 6 times. LeBron, the best player on the championship team, 4 times. Okay. Duncan never played with a guy quite like prime Shaquille O'Neal. Michael Jordan never played with a player quite like prime Anthony Davis or D. Wade. I don't give a fuck what y'all. Your ass better not try to tell me that Scottie Pippen was better than a prime Anthony Davis, who's still in his prime. His ass just can't stay healthy. But when he out there, don't do that. Better go watch the games. Don't do D. Wade like that. You better go watch the motherfucking games. Okay? Don't give me, best defender. Don't give me that shit. Don't give me that shit. Nick Wright is 1 day older than me. 1 day. 1 damn day. He born October 3rd, 84. I'm born October 4th. That motherfucker don't remember the first part of Michael Jordan's career. You know what? I didn't. I really didn't. A lot of it was a fog. Like I would tell myself, yeah, I remember when he switched hands and stuff. Then when I went back, and, it's part of my fucking job with this company. I got a sports show. I put in the work. Went back and did working on my Michael Jordan project, and I've watched all of the playoff series of the Bulls right now. Now I'm almost finished with the Phoenix Suns series, 1993. So going back to all that shit, I'm like, damn, I don't remember this. None of the shit in the 80s. None of it. Didn't remember any of it. I was a fucking baby. A baby. Mama controlling the TV. Nick Wright don't remember none of that shit. And then some of the shit he be saying, let me know he don't remember none of that shit. Like when he says, we should give Bron a pass for losing to the Warriors, for instance. Okay. Or super team. But we should slam Michael for losing to the Milwaukee Bucks, who was better than we think. Milwaukee Bucks, that first year Mike went to the playoffs in his rookie season, had Terry Cummings, who in that series they called him the prototypical small forward for years to come. That's what they called him. Go look it up. That motherfucker was hooping. That's the only playoff series that anybody ever outscored Mike, was that series. Terry Cummings was hooping. If he hadn't got hurt, I think in the off the court injury, like I think he was hooping, but not, kind of like these guys hooping the offseason shit. If he hadn't got hurt like that, he probably in the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? So they had him. They had Paul Pressey, who in that series I learned they called him the original point forward. Something that they tried to give to Pippen later on. You know what I'm saying? They had Sidney Moncrief, who's a 5-time All NBA guy, 5-time All Defensive Team, 2-time Defensive Player of the Year his damn self. He's one of the guys who gets left off when we get to talking about these all-time guys, guard defenders. Everybody like to say that Scott is the best, even Mike or Gary Payton. This motherfucker got 2 Defensive Player of the Year, and nobody brings him up. He was on that team. You know what I'm saying? That team won 59 motherfucking games. Nick Wright ain't remembering that shit. And from some of the shit he be saying, I don't think he went back and watched. Or you take the Celtics. Celtics had Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Robert Parrish, Bill Walton, Dennis Johnson. That's 5 Hall of Famers right there. And then you had a great role player in Danny Ainge. So 5 Hall of Famers and a stud role player, because he went on to make an all-star team later on. 5 Hall of Famers. What did the Warriors have? Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. 4 Hall of Famers, maybe a possible, and Andre Iguodala. No, you know the way the basketball Hall of Fame does it. Andre might end up in there. So 4 on the possible. I just told you the Boston Celtics had 5. Ain't no possible. All them motherfuckers in the hall. Nick Wright don't remember that shit, man. Come on. Come on, man. You don't remember that shit. Hey, I didn't, but I went back and watched the game. We were babies. The damn Pistons. Isaiah Thomas, Hall of Famer. Joe Dumars, Hall of Famer. Dennis Rodman, Hall of Famer. Before they went and got Mark Aguirre, who should be a Hall of Famer, because he was putting up numbers in Dallas before he got traded to Detroit. He was putting up numbers. Before they got him, they had a motherfucker named Adrian Dantley, who was a bucket. So them 3 straight years that the Bulls lost to the Pistons, that first year they had Adrian Dantley. He was working. They got rid of him because him and Isaiah had beef. Brought in Mark Aguirre, who was the homie, you know what I'm saying? And they won them the next 2 years. You know what I'm talking about? But still in the Hall of Famers. And then you had Mike, and then you had Charles Oakley in the early years with him. You got Orlando Woolrich, I think in the first year with him or something. Dave Corzine. Get the fuck out of here, man. And then when they trade Oakley, you bring in Cartwright. You got a young ass Horace Grant. You got a young ass Scottie Pippen. Come on, man. Stop the bullshit. Nick Wright don't remember that shit. Nick Wright don't remember that shit. Michael Jordan won the Defensive Player of the Year award in 1988. The coaches voted him again as the Defensive Player of the Year in 1993. The media gave it to somebody else in 93. I had to go look there. I think probably Hakeem. Just off the top of my head, I'm going to say Hakeem. I had to double check. But in 93, the coaches chose him as a Defensive Player of the Year. But still, motherfuckers want to say Scottie Pippen was the best defender. All because of a lie from the 1991 finals. When Mike got in foul trouble in game 2 and Phil put Scottie on, and Scottie did put a great ball pressure on Magic in that particular game. But then in game 3, 4, and 5, Michael Jordan was guarding Magic Johnson again. But because a lie continues to just float around out here, including in the Last Dance, they act like Scottie Pippen got on that man from game 2 on, and then that was the series. And that's a lie. And that's what that one lie has allowed motherfuckers to say that Scottie Pippen was a better defender than Michael Jordan. It's fucking crazy. So you see all these fallacies, man. All these fallacies. And this man's arguing. So look. If y'all think Brun is the GOAT, fine. Because I don't feel like arguing with your motherfucking ass. You know what I'm talking about? I would argue with my young boy, Antoine Dixon. That's my young boy now. He's one of my young boys. Zebo. He's a LeBron stan. Bring your ass on here. Quit texting me and bring your ass here. I'll argue with him. I don't feel like arguing with nobody else about this shit. But I'm just telling y'all this. If you think Bron is the GOAT, don't base your arguments on what the fuck Nick Wright talking about. Don't do that. I just showed you that shit flaw. It is. Because, again, he does not have Karl Malone over Tim Duncan. Okay, based on his logic, with why LeBron is over Jordan, that means Karl Malone actually should be over Tim Duncan then. Okay, again, Karl Malone got the longevity. Karl Malone got the stats. Karl Malone got 2 MVPs. Tim Duncan got 2 MVPs. Karl Malone doesn't have the championships, but shit, LeBron it doesn't have as many championships as Mike. If it wasn't for Mike, shit, Karl Malone have at least 2 championships. You feel me? Karl Malone bigger and stronger than Tim Duncan. But Nick Wright still take Tim Duncan. And I think he's correct on that. I think he's right to do so with that. You feel me? Nick Wright does not take Kobe Bean Bryant over Tim Duncan. Because again, he states, and this is so damning, he states that Tim Duncan got more MVPs. That is true. So does Mike. He states that Tim Duncan got more finals MVPs. That's true. So does Mike. He states that Tim Duncan was the best player on 4 championship teams. Mike, best player on 6 of them motherfuckers. And that Duncan didn't have the same kind of help as Kobe did with Shaq. You make a list of Mike teammates and put them alongside LeBron teammates. And I don't want to hear this shit about it. You can take his early years, first, 7 years of his career. Okay, cool. But after that, since he made that decision, Bron had hella talent alongside of him. You make a list of them motherfuckers compared to Michael Jordan talent. Come on, stop it. So based on Nick Wright's argument, Michael Jeffrey Jordan is a great player of all time. Put it on something. My kids wanted me to tell y'all to make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me across all social media platforms, like the videos, and share them. Did I forget anything?
And turn on the post notifications.
Y'all heard them. And also, visit StatementTeesLLC.com and shop with us. That's Statement Tees. Every t-shirt you wear
makes a statement.